What's up, Ragnar Runner? I am Sarah Albanawi, and I am a Ragnar Relay Ambassador. Consider me your top resource for your travel tips, packing, team building, or information about the venue, anything Ragnar. Find me at Sarah Albanawi on Instagram. Save 10% at registration by using my ambassador code SAAMB22.
Here we go again on the Break It Down for Brackens podcast, talking to Sarah about her Ragnar Immortal journey. Today we're talking about Ragnar New England Road.
Yeah.
So welcome back to the podcast. Tell us about what team you were on and what's the road course like? This is our first time podcasting about a road Ragnar.
Well, thank you so much, Kevin, for having me again. This is really exciting. Sharing my journey as I go along. This is really awesome, and to have the platform for me to do that, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
So for New England, I joined a team called From Sea to Shining Sea with Roger in the middle, which is a funny name because it was long. Even the announcer didn't know what the end of it was when we were crossing the line. But it's, most of everybody on the team was from the East Coast or the West Coast, and it was only Roger who was from Ohio. So they called him Roger in the middle. So now every picture we took with the team, we put Roger in the middle, and we pointed at him. That's course. Roger in the middle from Ohio. And he is a fast runner. He was like a speed racer. I really enjoyed the team. They kind of talk about team dynamic. We kind of came together.
But you were finally a mercenary?
Huh?
You were finally a mercenary?
No, I actually had to be captain of Van 2 because I wasn't happy with the organization.
Oh
I told you, I'm like a type A personality. If things are not going well, I'm gonna step up and get right down and dirty.
All right. So, where does the race start? Where does it end?
It starts in Groton, Connecticut. And then it ends at Quincy, Massachusetts. And then it was we're going along the coast, so we were at beaches the whole time, which is nice.
Oh, you were? That's cool.
So
let's look at the logistics, though. You got 2 large vans?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it was like a Suburban, I think.
Okay.
It was not like a van. Mm-hmm. It was a Suburban. It was still big enough for 6 people to be kind of
in all their gear.
There, yeah.
And then 12 runners, 6 in each van.
Yep.
Nice. And was your runner also a driver, or did you have a designated driver?
No, it was me driving most of the way. Actually, I drove from Virginia to Groton, and then I drove most of the race. So I was exhausted. But after my second run, I was passed out in the front seat. They had to move me to drive the car to the hotel.
I get it.
And the team kind of did it bougie because we had a hotel after every run. And it was the way it was done, it was really nice. So the first night, Thursday night, we had 4 rooms. So we spread out. But then in between, after every leg, we had only 2 rooms. So van 1 went to rest.
Hold on. So when you say after every leg, you mean 6 runners run their distances.
Yes.
Which are all different distances because you're running down a road. And the van, let's say for the first segment, the first segment is 6 segments from the start to the end of the 6th segment. At the end of the 6th segment, Van 2 is waiting to start their 6.
Yep.
So the first runner goes out, and then the van races that runner to the next checkpoint. It could be 3 miles, could be 8 miles.
Correct.
It could be more.
Mm-hmm.
In each transition or relay handoff, different distances, but after you've done the first 6, you then went to a hotel room?
Yes.
Wow.
And it was the same. It was only 2 rooms, and it was the ones that van 1 used to rest and shower. And then van 1 were really nice. They had really fresh towels waiting for us. They made the beds, and it was nice. I don't know. It was just we enjoyed. We were able to relax. And for me, driving most of the time, I was able to put my feet up and just relax and not.
You were van 2.
I am van 2.
Nice. So the van 1 starts at what, 7 a.m.?
At 5, I think 5:30.
5 a.m. Wow. And then they ran until what, noon?
I think we started getting ready to get there by 10:30 just to kind of be there. So they were there by 11-ish.
That's great.
Yeah.
So then you're running midday. How was the weather at this race?
Actually, so the first Friday, it was nice. It was like in New England, kind of like summery,
Nice.
breezy. You're by the water. It was nice. But then the next day, it was hot. Saturday was super hot. That's when I didn't put a shirt on. I usually wear a shirt. I didn't put a shirt on. I had like my sports bra and my shorts, and I had like the neck fan going, and I had like my hat. I don't like to wear a hat when I run, but I needed the hat because the
Right.
sun was very hot.
So how long did it take? What runner were you?
I was runner 10
So then you were number 4 in the
in the van.
van
yeah.
too.
hmm
And then how long was your first leg?
It was about 6.5.
How was it?
It was not bad at all, and honestly, coming from Zion,
Nothing's bad.
nothing was bad, and they were my first leg was kind of pretty easy, and I'm like, really? It was rolling hills. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, bring it on.
Right.
But it was a good kind of recovery race for me after Zion.
How much? It was 1 week after Zion.
Yeah,
4
not
days
even,
basically.
Yeah, 4 days. Because I came back Sunday and actually came back Monday morning. I had a red eye from Vegas, and I came straight to work.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it took me a few days to recover. I wasn't even recovered. I was in a car driving back up to
Yeah,
New
that's the
England.
tempo of Ragnar Immortal. You just got to be ready for it, and then. So I feel like doing road Ragnars are a lot easier than trail, easier on the body. Others say just the opposite. How do you feel about that?
I honestly agree with you, especially that you're staying some people don't do hotels in between legs. They just do in the beginning and in the end. At least you're sleeping in a bed. At least you're showering, and it's you're in a van. You're in civilization. When you're camping, you're dealing with all natural rain
Weather,
and the
yeah.
weather and pollen, animals. I don't know. I feel like it's different. It's not like we're used to being in houses. So when you go camp, it's just different. Your body's like, oh, my back is weird. And you slept weird because you're sleeping in a tent or on a mat or something. So.
Well, if you're not all bougie like the teams that you typically appear to be on, if you're with Gen Pop like I usually am, when you're doing a road Ragnar, at those van transitions, there's usually a gymnasium or a place that you can set up a cot and sleep in.
Yeah, I've actually experienced that. So when we did Drinkers and Foodies for Bourbon Chase last year, we slept in a van in a high school gym, and it was really warm. They had a shower, so still, you were still somewhat kind of comfortable, and you're laying flat. You're not sitting down, crumbled up, or
in a car,
the seat in the car in the van. So
one time. I don't even know which one it was. I know I was under a blanket on the sidewalk sleeping.
Oh, I think I saw a picture of that.
Dude, I was so freaking tired from a road Ragnar. But what's really cool too is at the van transitions, depending on the venue, there's usually a big sort of festival happening there. Did you have that with New England, where Ragnar sets up their vendors and a band playing?
Yeah. I think there was a band. There was some guy with a guitar in Zion, but not in New England.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, what were some of the? What would you say the highlights would be?
I feel like it was just the organization of the course and also the locals too. They were helping. There's a lot of volunteers. It was just really awesome. All in all, the organization and the staff were very helpful. I know Sherry. She was one of the staff in New England, and she was actually looking for me because I met her in Michigan Road. She would wear a chicken suit. And she's like, I'm here, but I don't have a chicken suit. I want to see you and hug you. And I'm like, I think that's my highlight of Ragnar in general, and why I love it, and why, I'm honored right now to be an ambassador of Ragnar, is that the camaraderie and the friendships and all these people that support you, and they look forward to see you, and they cheer you on, and no matter what your state you're in, they're going to be there and just to be there for you. And I think that the sense of community is just amazing.
Yeah, the one thing about Ragnar is that I like a lot also is the consistency. And whether you're at a trail Ragnar or a road Ragnar, you see the same staff members or the same volunteers. That's really neat. The road Ragnar, you establish like a little personal nest inside the Suburban or the van or the vehicle that you're riding in, and it's like where you sit when you're not running. When you know all you have to do is run or just sit, or in your case, drive. But once you have your nest established, everybody kind of has their space. You figure out how to change clothes outside of a van or inside of a van. It's a unique, I consider it a lower logistically heavy. It's not as heavy logistically as camping for a trail. Yeah. Because if it's raining, you're just inside the van. Yeah. If it's road, you only need road shoes. You don't need trail shoes. You know your team is going to dip into a restaurant to get food, so you don't have to haul too much food. Yeah. Right? And then being shielded from the weather, I think, is really great. But you don't see van one. You don't see the other van hardly at all. That's a downfall, I feel like. Right, so you're disconnected from half of your team. Whereas trail, you have to bring your own structure, live in your own tent, bring your own canopy, and then maybe have a folding table, bring some food. Usually there's food trucks, right? And like the village is always squared away, and there's always canopies up there. But ultimately you're in a home base that's not traveling, and the runners go out and come back. So it's both formats have their pluses and minuses. I actually don't know if I could choose one or the other, because I'm the same way, because I like them both. I like the both highlights for both, but I think one of the biggest differences between road and when it comes to gear and trail is like at night. At trail, all you need is a headlight, but in road, you have your vest, and you have to have like a backlight so like cars can see you if you're walking across, and like you get like those flags so you can cross the street. They give you those flags with the bracelets, so you can cross the street or cross your runner across the street. And then also one of the things that I like about road is that if it's a long stretch, you can do van support, so you can stop in the middle and help the runner with some water or some goo or something. That I think that's really good. I don't think trail you can do that much. How about microphone? How about when you're running road in the vans? Hundreds of vans pass you with cowbells and cheering. Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing. But so Kevin, I'm going to say something. And honestly, see, I'm new to Ragnar, but I'm like now an ambassador. I was like almost in tears when I was running my last leg, and all these bands passed by, at least 4 or 5. They were like, "Go Sarah!" Like they know me by my first name. I am honored to, people know me. Like it's just like, hey, these are my family, and like everybody was like, hey, I passed you. I saw you when you were running, and I was like, that was awesome. That was like kind of like it really brought me, like it just reminded me why Ragnar is my happy place. Totally. You're so right. All the support. I loved hanging a cowbell out the window and shaking it at people when you drive by them, and you holler for your teammates, and especially when you're in the community and you've met a lot of other runners, you see it's like a reunion. At every transition, you're like, hey, what's up? Yeah. Yeah, that's super fun. Did you guys like do any shenanigans, or was it all business on your New England road? Define shenanigans. I'll define shenanigans. So when I did Northwest Passage, I don't even know which version we were in, but the sun had just gone down, like it's barely light out. And for some reason, we were the Running Dead was the name of our team. Right. That's not the first time anybody's ever used that one. But so we had like blood all over our vehicles and blood stickers and scars and whatnot. And somebody had brought a mask, like of a zombie. Okay. And it was her mask. And she was like, I said, we should jump out and scare you. She's like, I dare you to scare me. That'd be hilarious if you scared me. And she's like, there's no way you're going to scare me. I would see you coming because there's vehicles everywhere. And we were running through like farms, just flat field farms. Yeah. And it was a straight road that was built up on a berm. And there were all kinds of vans parked on the side of the road where you would cheer for your runner to go by. And there was not a single bit of traffic. The only traffic was Ragnar traffic. Mm-hmm. So the lights are kind of blinding you while you're running, and you got your safety gear on. Well, I went and I put the mask on, and I put this big green blanket over my shoulders, and I kept like coming out of the bushes on people, and then we actually scared our runner really well.
Whoa.
And then they were running later on, and cars were kind of rolling by slowly, and my other teammate put the mask on, was hanging out the window scaring people.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
That's what I meant by Ragnar shenanigans. They probably be like, "Don't do that, please. That's a safety, blah blah blah." And we're like, "Well, okay."
Well, so my team, I don't know if you remember, one of the Immortals, Brian. He was in my van. Yeah, so like he was very famous of like napping.
Oh yeah.
Waking up and say, "Oh, can I get this? Can I have this?" So we started calling him Princess. Like I was like on the border of like, what? Like, is it bullying? He liked it. So like we were sure he was on board. So like, all right, Princess, what do you want to eat now? And whatever. Like he was napping. So like they did a lot of napping in that van.
That's fun. Yeah. Well, cool. So what would we say? We didn't talk about your last lap. So how did your last lap go? Or your last leg?
So my last leg was, that was the hot one. That was like, I was bracing for it. And
let's see, your Van 2 runner 4, which means you're 3 from last.
Yes. Oof. And then, that was
like
so
3
that
p.m.?
Was specifically, and that was specifically runner. No, it was about 1:30 or 2.
Middle of the day.
Yeah, and then it was leg 34. So
how many miles?
That was 6.5. I did not expect, or I think it was 5.6, which is not bad. I did not know if there was hills. But again, road hills are different, and I've just been to Zion, and then. You go along the street. Remember I told you like all these vans came and called my name. I was just so excited. And then we were like at this light, and me and this other runner, and I saw like her van stopping and giving her like a wet towel for her neck, and they were spraying her with water, and they sprayed me as I went along, passed by. So like me and her, and then we go into like a park, and that park has the hills, and I'm like, and she's like, well, I've done this before, and there's a hill coming up. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's take it easy, and let's just. So we kind of ran together throughout, and then by the end of like the 4th or 5th hill, we were like
4th or 5th.
Yeah, we were just like tired. I'm not saying it was just challenging, but it was just tired. And then I ran out of water. She had some like Gatorade, and I'm like, I'm running out of gas. Like, go ahead. And she's like, no, open your water bottle. So she put some of her like Gatorade in my water bottle, and then I like kind of chug it. And we start running, and we start like, and then we reach to almost the end, and they make us like cross the street up a hill and then to that, like, so we kind of do like a U-way to go to the like transition point. She couldn't. Like we were like, she couldn't even go up the hill. So I put my arms around her. I'm like, come on, let's go. Let's bring it in hot. So we ran up the hill, but she's like, I gotta stop. So like I ran in and kind of gave the bracelet, and I made a new friend. Like her name is Courtney. She's from I think Wisconsin, she said, but they always do New England and Reach the Beach. So it was really fun to have like a new friend, and it was tiring to have somebody to help you there.
Ragnar's so good like that. The running community, and how nice it is, especially when somebody's struggling, or when you bond with somebody on course. You're like, yeah, this is so cool. And again, like, you're just so nice. Like, apparently I say I'm not competitive, but I'm super competitive. Like only during the race. Only during the race though. So like I've actually never made friends on course. I've had ghosts. And what I mean by ghosts are I've had phantoms. That's what I call them. Phantoms. Okay. I don't know if that runner was really there or not.
Oh, okay.
But
that worries me at night.
No. What I mean is, even during the daytime, somebody gave me a word of encouragement, but I've never seen them again, or I never saw them in the village again, or were they really out there? Like maybe I don't know. That's the weird spiritual stuff. But basically, I've had those phantoms that.
Okay.
At one point, there's a beautiful woman with water.
Oh.
On course, and I was like, "Thank you," and I'm like, "Wait a minute." Nobody else saw that person, right? And I'm like, that's really weird. So the spirit and the family environment of Ragnar, if you're in the receiving spirit, it's really there.
Yeah.
And you do make friends. And I remember I made friends just randomly at West Virginia, just be like, kind of, hey, what's up? Good to see you again. There's a guy with a beard, you know? And I'm a guy with a beard, so I was like, what's up, beard? What's up, beard? But after 2 years, we never really spoken to each other.
Yeah.
At West Virginia and maybe at Richmond, I'm not sure. But then I spotted him at Michigan. I said, yo, aren't you that guy I see in West Virginia? He's like, yeah. And we started talking, and that's the Lunatics out of Pittsburgh.
Oh,
They're
okay.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you meet and you make friends under duress, and that's where somehow the bonds are just more solid when you make friends under duress. And duress, it's just a Ragnar, but it's just a Ragnar. You know, it's serious business sometimes.
Yeah.
So I feel like this one has a different tone than your other podcasts when it comes to, like, was it because it was genuinely easier, or was it because it was after something as tough as Zion was?
I think both. And also, like, in Vancouver, there was a runner who had just done Boston Marathon, and she's doing, like, the Chicago Marathon, and that was, like, Ragnar was, like, a one-off. That's her first Ragnar ever. And me and her became besties, like, instantly, and she was driving when I was in driving. So I kind of, like, made a best friend, and, like, right now she's like, I want to come help you move and stuff. Like, I'm moving right now. So before I go to Colorado, I'm actually moving from one apartment to the other.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so it's like just having a new friend, and actually she's like, oh, what is Ragnar life, and what is this? And I'm like, ooh, let me explain to you, because I'm like, I get into, like, that, you know, my element, and I start talking about Ragnar.
You get into your ambassadorship, which is why you're an ambassador.
Absolutely.
That's really, really cool. That's really fun. So things that worked well.
Organization, like everything that was organized, everything was kind of on point. As far as, like, our team, like, captain had everything organized from hotel, from, like, vans, and, like, everything, like, written down and organized to, like, the staff organization, to Ragnar, and, like, all the cones and, like, all the directions and staff helpers.
Nobody really getting lost much.
No.
That's great.
No, we were like, and because I was driving, we did not ever miss a transition or a point, because, like, I am, like, right on point. I'm, like, really good with directions, and I have a hard time communicating with people who don't know how to direct or like.
Right.
So I take charge.
So then maybe you don't have to be the captain, but you could be the navigator.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
I can be the navigator for sure.
Nice. And you definitely want to control things so that people have a smooth experience. I'm hearing that also.
I try to, like, kind of tone that down, because, like, when you're in Ragnar and, like, you have dealing with different personalities, it comes off as bossy and intimidating. And I try to, like, I'm not that kind of person. I just like things in order, and I have a type A personality. So it's like, you gotta be kind, but you gotta be organized. You gotta listen to me, but you gotta be, you know, have fun, but you gotta listen to me.
Mandatory fun.
Mandatory fun. He's like, why are you not laughing? You're not laughing. That's not true. It's not genuine. You gotta laugh.
That's so funny. How about the after party at the finish line? Did you finish on a beach?
We did finish by a pier, like a water, and it was kind of like chilly. It was nice, and then we went.
No, I'm saying like what was Ragnar's setup? What did it look like?
It was like a village, and then they had of course the gear shop. Like if you want to get pick up some Ragnar gear from there. I always have to pick up something for my daughter to remind her that I still love her.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, when you talk about how going immortal affects your personal life, it is already my daughter is like, I know you're doing your thing, mommy, but I miss you so much. She's 8 years old.
Aww.
And I try as much as possible to include her own experience, and I explain to her what's happening and how things are going, and she loves it. She feels like she's a mature adult when I tell her all these stories, and she's like, Mommy, I'm so proud of you. I'm so lucky to have you as a mom. Oh my God, she says the darnest things that she melts my heart.
That's really sweet.
Yep.
So they had a DJ playing, loud music, everybody's tired.
Oh, we went from that to my daughter. I'm sorry. I feel
sorry.
So the village is usually, they have either massages or like they have like, I've never seen them I haven't seen them in road, but usually in villages in trail, they have the compression, like the boot compressions. I always get the unlimited. I do before and after. That really helps with
really
recovery.
does. I agree.
My God. And I use the arnica like cream. It's called Relieve It.
Oh, yeah?
It's just, I put it on before I run, and it really helps with like recovery time. So like when I come back, I'm just exhausted. My legs are fine, which is
That's really good.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, when they started bringing those out, it was called Elevated Legs.
Yeah.
And the actual Elevated Legs company was there. And then I guess Ragnars bought their own and then started doing it. But it's an exceptional tool for between legs, for sure. I don't know what it does. It moves the blood around, something.
The
does something
traction
magical.
between your joints, it helps because it gets compressed when you're running, and when your muscles are tight, it makes it harder for you to get blood flow. So that helps with the blood flow.
How about it? Well, I know it helps for recovery for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
What was the biggest surprising challenge with road in New England?
That there was hills. Like, I don't know. I didn't expect the hills. Even though they were not as bad.
Sarah. Okay, so being that you're an ambassador, you know that I assume the Ragnar app is still active. Does that still?
It is, yes. And it shows you, but I don't look because I like surprises.
Oh my God. So on the Ragnar app, you can check out every single, like for a road Ragnar, you can check out every single leg, what roads it follows. There's like a GPS thing where you can actually follow for when you're the driver to meet the runner for transition. But it also shows you elevation profiles, Sarah.
Yep.
So you can definitely know that
I
there's...
know. I try not to like look because I don't want to be like, especially if I'm on a team where like they assigned me the runner. Like I don't want to say like I don't want this runner because it's like so hard, but because you're going for challenge. I don't want to like not get a challenge, but if I knew it's like a leg that I can't do, I will say, oh, can I do this? But I don't want to be that kind of team member. I want to like go with the flow. I want to accept what comes my way and just,
That's good, yeah. That's like a mercenary. I like that. That's the go with the flow. That's a good feeling. And road, it's just logistically lighter than, especially when you have a team that gets like a hotel room.
Yes.
Like I was on one team where it was just sleeping in the grass or sleeping in the gym.
Yeah.
And I was so tired, I didn't care. I did not care where I was sleeping. Cool. So then, so there's got to be something else that was logistically challenging about New England. Maybe, I guess, the transition, because you get back on a Monday from Colorado, clean your gear.
Yes, and then just...
at one point during my Immortal journey, I stopped unpacking. I just stayed packed.
Yeah, so it's just, for now, like right now, I actually still have both my Zion and New England bag unpacked. Yeah, I just took out the dirty clothes and just like washed it because the smell. But, the stuff is still sitting in the middle of my living room, and that's the chaos that I have to deal with. It's like I don't have time to clean because like I have 2 jobs, and then I have to spend time with my daughter, and then I have to go like catch up to my like friends, and actually I have to run too, and I have schoolwork to do. So I sleep like 5 hours every night, and then that's the maximum I do, and that's kind of like.
I like this. So at this point in your journey, you're at race 4, and it's just starting to creep in the concept of home life balance with Ragnar life, right? And first of all, doing one Ragnar is awesome. It's badass. It may be one of the hardest things. If you're an amateur runner, it may be one of the hardest things you've ever done. Huge accomplishment. Going Immortal, the impact on your body with not just the race, but additionally the travel wear and tear on your body.
Absolutely.
Airports, Ubers, checking your bags, freaking security. Have you gotten the clear or the pre-check?
I did. Yeah. Clear. Yeah, it's awesome. It pays off.
Skipping.
Oh my God.
That's one of the best pieces of advice you can give somebody who's doing a lot of traveling or travel Ragnars is get the pre-check. You go through security, it takes 5 minutes versus an hour, possibly, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, but the Immortal wear and tear on the Immortal journey of your personal life and then eventually your professional life, it just beats you up and beats you up. And that's where the real racing, I think, happens is making sure you are squared away enough to get through the whole journey.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. So
Let's see how my journey continues. I'm very excited
Oh,
and
no
nervous
doubt.
at the same time.
well, that's the thing, right? Like you mentioned that you'd kind of go with the flow and take whatever loops they give you. At some point, you can start pulling the Immortal card and say, listen, I'm racing weekend after weekend. You need to give me them shorter loops.
Actually, I heard from previous Immortals, and correct me if I'm wrong, like they try to do at least one Ragnar leg or one black loop within their Immortal journey. So
I'm going to go ahead and say, nah.
So I kind of like claimed Michigan Road Ragnar leg, and that's the one I'm doing.
Okay, fine. You listen, Jenny would say the same thing. Jenny wants all of them. Mandy from the Mandy Randy Rhonda West Coast Broads team.
Oh my God,
They're
beasts. I don't compare to them.
Yeah, Mandy takes every darn crazy hard leg and any extra mileage she.
No, but I think you're right. I think for Reach the Beach and because I'm not assigned a runner assignment yet, and for Bourbon Chase maybe I'll go like a lighter because it's going to be like within after Vermont, and like I have the Ragnar leg in Michigan Road, so like maybe kind of take the lighter legs.
I would just say don't make it a habit, or do it, man. If you're a hard charger, be a hard charger. In my mind,
I don't want to like run myself down. Like I already have, like I'm still recovering from an injury. I still have pain from it. Like I had shin splints last year on both legs, and
Right.
I still feel the pain is different, but it's like I'm working with a chiropractor twice a week. I'm doing like active release therapy and Graston therapy. If you're not familiar with that, so active release is just basically it helps you release like the muscles, and it's some sort of a stretch they do. And the Graston they use like a metal tool to break the adhesions.
it's like
so,
a blade.
Yeah, it's it hurts a lot.
It feels like a giant sword for me.
It
Even
hurts.
though it's small, it's a little thing. It's like a fork.
But I walked into that office limping, and I left from the first session, and I was walking normally. And then to me, I'm like, you know what? It was worth it. 2 minutes of pain, and then you're walking normally. I think I'll take that.
That's totally worth it.
Yeah.
I get it.
So,
All right, so 2 pieces of advice if somebody brand new was doing their first road and that happened to be New England.
well, check out your course first.
Okay.
Know what you're going to run.
Use the
Be
Ragnar
prepared.
app for that.
Use the Ragnar app for like this. See what your elevation is. Just be prepared. Make sure you have. I will go back to the same advice you give previously about getting extra battery, because at night you're running. You don't want your battery to run out. Even though you're on streets sometimes, but like sometimes you have a darker alley or something you're running through that you need your light. You want your light. You want your vest. I think my advice for everybody is just like look at the packers list that I have on the website that has everything to help you pack. And then like the race Bible also, it has all the information you need on the website or the app. And just have fun, prepare to have fun, and hydrate.
What about overpacking? What about overpacking?
So if you're only doing one Ragnar, just go by the what is it called? The packers, like the list. They give you a list, the packing list. They give it to you. That just follow that. Don't veer off. Like if you have like a special candy or bar that you want to bring with you, do that, but not extra. Don't bring extra clothes. Don't bring extra anything. Like for me, it's like what's important is like bringing an extra pair of shoes. Like if you're only bringing one pair of shoes, bring an extra one just in case like it rained and that one is soggy. Like you want another one to run with in the next loop. So that's one thing to think about. Like because like in Michigan Road, I was van 1, so we missed the rain. Van 2, they got the grunt of the rain. They were like soaking wet. Jenny was in that, and Pietro, they were in that van, and I'm like, I don't think they had the same experience Van 1 did, because like we had the luxurious experience.
Right.
I was in a hot tub with a glass of wine after my first leg. It was, it was a completely different experience. But yeah, just be like, don't overpack. Don't overpack. Just even like, especially like, so if you're going to New England, if you're flying there, you don't want to overpack. And even if I was driving, I drove, but I just got exactly what I needed. Like the 3 outfits for running, my light gear, my Nox gear, and like an extra pair of shoes. and just, your hydration pack. I think that's important for long legs,
Sure.
hydration pack. So for like my last leg, I used just a regular water bottle, which I emptied it like very quickly because it was so hot.
Right.
So I kind of regretted not having my hydration
Should
pack.
have had the pack, right.
Yeah, so like, for long legs, hot legs, make sure you have your hydration pack. A hat and sunglasses is very important, and sunscreen. Yeah, that's
Sunscreen,
very
sure.
important, yeah.
Awesome. Any last minute tips for travel when it comes to flying or checking bags or rental cars, or we use yours out of the loop on that because the captain took care of it?
The captain kind of took care of all of that. Like when I stepped in as a van to captain, I just took over like the driving directions and all that. But
Right.
she was very organized as far as like all the hotels. She actually read the reviews and she booked them ahead of time.
So
Everything
good.
was like kind of like seamless. And honestly, like I'm just gonna like kind of ask her what she did, because like now we're Drinkers and Foodies are preparing to go to Michigan Road, so we want to like do it right. I'm like, I want to get some tips from her about that. But again, as an ambassador,
I'm about to say, as an ambassador,
yeah, I would say New England is fun and it's by the beach. Like we stopped at every beach, took pictures, just enjoyed, took in like that smell of the ocean. It's just awesome. Just enjoy every minute of it, and reach out to me if you have any questions at Sarah Albanawi on Instagram. And you can use my code SAAMB22 to register. That gives you 10% discount off your registration. And I hope you come out, try out Ragnar. It's amazing. You'll come in with strangers, leave with family and friends.
So if somebody's struggling with, they're nervous to register their team because they don't have enough runners, you can help them kind of understand how to recruit runners.
Oh, absolutely. Like, just being part of, like, you'll join, like, Ragnar Life, where you can connect all the Ragnars, all the runners, all the running groups. Like, you can actually contact them. I can help with, guide you, and I can help show you tips and tricks on the ones that I did, and actually maybe get more advice from you about running, or more advice from you about, like, hydration or altitude and elevation, because you live in a mountain, like, town or state. So
Tell you what, that's dynamite. That's dynamite. You're a great ambassador. So, anything else about this race?
no, just enjoy it. Fun.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was fun. It was a great experience.
I can imagine it felt great coming off of the Zion experience.
Absolutely.
You're like, wow, back to not almost
Dying.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. Well, thanks for being on the podcast. And the next one we'll talk about will probably be
Colorado?
Colorado. I did that one, so
Yes.
I have some input for that one.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I can't wait. Thank you for having me, Kevin.
Thanks, Sarah. Bye.
This podcast is brought to you by City National Bank in Ransom, West Virginia. I am Melissa Knott and manage both of our Jefferson County locations. Our Charlestown location is located on George Street in Charlestown, and the Ransom location is located in the Potomac Marketplace Shopping Center. City National Bank is a full-service community bank that provides an array of financial services. We offer a range of free checking accounts and savings products for both consumer and business customers. City National Bank offers competitive low-rate and low-cost lending products for both business and personal needs. Come and talk to me or one of my team members and get products and services that are tailored to fit your schedule and help you to achieve your financial goals. I can be reached at both the Ransom and Charlestown locations. Check out our website at www.bankatscity.com.